you want cream in your coffee?
I don't want coffee, Ariel. I don't have a burning desire to talk about the weather. I don't even want to be here, so let's get to the point, shall we?
It's very hard to talk to you when you're so cold and angry.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do about it.
We've got to do something about it.
What do you suggest?
You have to hide your feelings about me. And I will try to hide mine about you.
Your feelings?
I'm frightened of you.
What are you after, anyway?
Something seems to happen to us when we're in the same room together. And it won't be long before someone notices that tension.
Well, I've got a simple solution for it. We don't ever meet again. It's gonna be much easier when the boat's in dry dock anyway. You and Lord Ashton will be living ashore.
I have no intention of living ashore.
I think you're gonna change your mind. It's not a real pleasant experience living on a boat that's in dry dock. There's a lot of noise, there's dirt, the power goes out, there's no running water. You want me to go on?
No. You didn't believe me the other day, did you?
I didn't believe a lot of what you said the other day. Which specific lie are you talking about?
They weren't lies.
It wasn't a lie when you told me that you didn't know your friends were terrorists?
I didn't know, Colton. And I didn't know they were using me to enlist you.
Enlist me? We're not talking about the Marine Corps, Ariel. They didn't enlist me. They drugged me and they manipulated my mind. They made me into a killer, all right?
If it's so easy for you to believe that, Colton, why can't you believe me?
I don't know. But I can't. What difference does it make anyway?
I have a marriage to protect.
Oh, sorry, forgot.
I'm happily married now to a wonderful man, and he doesn't know anything about my past.
You know, the funny thing about the past, Ariel, has a way of coming to life again, like it did for me.
It doesn't have to.
Do you like living with this lie?
No. But I can do it if you'll help me.
I'm not going to give you away. I'd like to forget we ever happened as much as you would.
If I found happiness, maybe you can too.
Don't worry about me, Ariel. I'll be fine.
If you find happiness with Felicia, then everything will be all right. And the tension will go away.
Ma'am, I'd like to ask you a question. Which do you think will taste better?
Excuse me, hi. Is Amy around?
Oh, she's at lunch now.
Ah. Well, let me please see Dr. Jones's chart.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do that, Mrs. Jones.
Look, Kate, I happen to be on staff here, and I happen to be married to the man, so let me see the chart.
No, you don't, Lucy.
You have nothing to do with this, Bob.
Not on the medical staff here. Kate, it's all right.
Look, I am still married to the man, and I'm going to be damned if I'm going to let you take your hands off of
Come
me.
over here.
Fine. First of all,
How did you know that Tony was checking himself in as a patient?
I don't have to answer any of your questions.
Okay, fine, forget it.
Fine, just wait. I want to talk to you, too.
If I stay, I have some questions.
All right. I found out through the hospital grapevine. You know, news like that travels fast, but I want to tell you something. Whether you believe it or not, I still love that man.
You're right. I don't believe it.
Fine. Also, I do not like you worming your way into my house and my life and with my husband.
Believe me, honey, worming my way into your life is the last thing on my mind. And as for your house and your husband, A, you've already lost your house. B, you're about to lose your husband. So what's your real problem, Lucy?
Okay. It's your hatred of me.
Well, that's mutual.
You're right, it is, but I know what lengths you'll go to hurt me.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can guess what lengths I've gone to.
Fine. You have moved into my house.
You'd already moved out.
And you're also pretending that you love and crazy about my stepdaughter.
I'm not pretending.
Oh, come on, Bobby, admit it. You're faking it.
It's real.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are just a little bit dizzy when it comes to tiny babies, aren't
Just
you?
watch it or I'll smack you so hard.
Go ahead. Come on, do it. Go ahead. I'd love to just punch your lights
Oh,
out.
fat chance. You forget. I grew up in your neighborhood.
Yeah, but I happen to be moving uptown, baby.
You did when you hooked Tony.
You're saying I hooked Tony?
Hooked Tony, yes. Everybody else thinks so, too, with the possible exception of Tony. However, I think he has a much clearer picture of you these days.
That's because you've been helping him out so well, isn't it?
No, actually, he didn't need any help on that score.
That's true. You know something, Bobby? Tony is very vulnerable right now, and he's a bit of a pushover.
Oh, wait a minute. If you think I'm after Tony, you're way off the mark.
You're right. You're right. You're not after Tony. You're after me. And you will do anything, including trying to hook Tony just to get even with me.
How do you come up with that? I have absolutely no idea.
Because, Bobby, I do happen to know that Tony isn't really the man in your life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go file a business report on the lunch I had with Amanda Barrington and Mrs. Claire Howard.
His lordship has just arrived aboard, ma'am.
And I'm going back on the launch, but I just really wanted to say thank you, Ariel.
Well, you're very welcome, and I hope you come back again soon.
I got such a charge out of having lunch with the crew and listening to all their sea stories.
Well, now, those stories, for authenticity, you have to cut them in half.
Tall tales.
Very tall tales.
Ah, there you are.
I say, good show, Uncle Larry.
I say, jolly hockey sticks, AJ.
I really enjoyed my visit.
Good, come again.
Okay. Well, so long.
I hope we'll see more of you.
Oh, be great.
Coffee. Terrific. How thoughtful of you, darling. There's a bit of a nip in the air. I think if it starts to rain, it could easily turn to sleet.
Well, it's very cozy here.
It won't be when we get into dry dock.
Oh, it'll be cozy enough.
You know, I had Lila Quartermain get hold of me when I was over at Edwards' office. She continues to insist that we be their house guests when the Aphrodite's out of commission.
No, Lawrence, we couldn't possibly impose on them.
Well, that's what I very politely told her.
Well, I'm glad.
But she refuses to take no for an answer.
Well, did you tell her we may be in dry dock for weeks?
Well, her answer to that is that they have all the room in the world. In fact, the entire East Wing would be ours.
Well, I doubt your ex-father-in-law would want us there for more than just a few days.
Well, at first, he'd probably worry about the extra mouths to feed. He's a great proponent of day-old bread.
Well, that settles it. We're staying here.
However, quite shortly, I feel certain that Edward will be only too glad to have me close at hand.
Lawrence, please. I'm just not good with people.
That, my darling, is because you have isolated yourself for far too long. Look, in a few days, the ship is going to be crawling with workmen. Mac, Colton Shore, it's going to be absolutely ghastly. Well, I must say there was a lot of excitement down on the dock today. Remember that Gregory Howard chap we met?
Yes, at the Quartermains.
Yes, he's running for the state legislature.
Yes, you said that.
Well, by the sound of the crowd, I think he's going to win. Anyway, when will you be ready to move into the Quartermains?
You mean you accepted the invitation?
Oh, yes, my darling, of course I did.
What do you take for diarrhea?
Nice of you to call, Amanda. Oh, you saw his speech, too. Well, no, he's not here yet, but I'll tell him you called. What? Oh, yes, I'd be happy to tell him he has your vote. I must make a note of your call, though. I've had so many. Thanks again, Amanda. Gregory, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, come on in here. I'm having tea. Would you like some?
No, thanks.
Or have you been out drinking with the boys?
I was at campaign headquarters.
Any reactions to your speech?
Well, we've been getting a lot of calls.
So have I. In fact, I had to start making a list. I was talking to Amanda Barrington just a few moments ago. She says you have her vote. You know, it's very good that you're reaching voters of her class, too. I caught your speech. A very noisy crowd.
Well, let's hope that noise was enthusiasm.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I thought it was a very good speech, rather stirring at times.
Were you stirred, Claire?
Oh, yes, I felt rather excited at moments.
Good.
You know, I'm really glad I was able to inspire you this morning. Would you like some tea? Or did I ask you that already?
You did. I don't care for any, thanks.
I hope you win this election, Gregory. I like the idea of moving to Albany. I wouldn't mind at all saying goodbye to Port Charles and some of the people in it.
Volunteer Joe Wright, please contact the volunteer services. Amy, here's the revised OR schedule for the nurses.
Revised?
Mm-hmm, lots of changes.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear Gregory Howard's speech?
Yes, I thought it was very good.
I didn't get to hear it. Some of the nurses were watching it on television, though. They were quite taken with him. You know, it's really funny. I've seen his wife around here a couple of times, and for the life of me, I cannot picture the two of them together.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Dr. Strain, report your radiology stat. Dr. Strain.
Oh, hey, Bobby. You remember I told you I might be back this afternoon with a little surprise?
Yes?
Just a second. Amy, would you tell Olivia St. John's doctors that I'm here? District attorney business. Official.
I have a sinking feeling.
Oh, heck. There goes the surprise.
Tell me I'm wrong. You're not replacing that fellow from the DA's office on Anna's case.
You're right.
How did you swing that?
Swing it. It's a very important case. Everybody knows that Anna was married to our splendid police commissioner and that he's
Scott.
holding off on arresting her.
Oh, Scott.
What?
I don't know how you managed to replace this fellow from the DA's office.
Bill Landau?
But I do know why you want the case.
Why is that, Bobby?
Because not only is Robert Anna's ex-husband, there's Robin, and they both love her. You're after Robert, aren't you?
I'm after justice.
Oh, bull. You've been after Robert for years. You'd do anything you didn't want with him.
I tell you what. I'm gonna let you in on a little something.
What?